China Eastern Airlines faces another incident, releasing oil in the air and returning to Shanghai. China's November Consumer Price Index records the largest drop in 3 years. Protest against rent hikes. Over 1,000 merchants strike in world's largest pearl market. Hundreds of merchants in Wuhan forcibly demolished, livelihood severed. China's Hunan Province officially orders closure of kindergartens. Public opinion heats up. It's all covered in today's China Truths. China Eastern Airlines faces another incident, releasing oil in the air and returning to Shanghai. Despite a previous emergency landing incident involving a China Eastern Airlines flight the week before, on December 9, another concerning event unfolded. The aircraft was compelled to release fuel mid-air during its descent, ultimately necessitating a return to Shanghai. Adding more details, the accompanying video revealed that, as the aircraft descended, measures were taken to reduce weight by releasing fuel. An in-flight announcement attributed the action to mechanical issues, preventing the planned journey to London and confirming the decision to return for an emergency landing at Shanghai Pudong Airport. Prior on December 3, another flight from Shanghai Hongqiao Airport to Hong Kong also faced severe mid-air turbulence, prompting an emergency return and landing at Xiamen Airport. Visible damage was observed upon landing, including broken blades on the left side engine. Following the emergency landing on December 9, concerns were voiced by numerous mainland Chinese netizens on platforms like Weibo. Some questioned, why is it China Eastern Airlines again? What's happening with China Eastern? Some expressed reluctance to choose the airline for future travel due to the third incident making headlines. There is also lingering apprehension stemming from China Eastern's tragic incident last year involving flight MU-5735, which suddenly descended over Guangxi, resulting in the loss of all 123 passengers and 9 crew members. A user expressed, "The shadow of last year's accident still lingers, and last week's warmth hasn't faded, and now this happened again." Regarding the MU-5735 incident, the official investigation by Chinese authorities has made no progress. Unconfirmed reports following the China Eastern Airlines tragedy suggested deliberate actions by a co-pilot. In May of last year, the Wall Street Journal, citing 2 sources, disclosed that black box flight data indicated someone in the China Eastern cockpit intentionally initiated a fatal nosedive, leading to the crash. China's November Consumer Price Index records the largest drop in 3 years. The latest data shows that deflation intensified in China in November, with the Consumer Price Index falling more than expected and consumer demand remaining sluggish. According to data released by the National Bureau of Statistics of China on December 9, the Consumer Price Index in November fell by 0.5% year-on-year, compared to the previous year, and also 0.5% month-on-month, compared to the previous month. Analysts polled by Reuters expected the CPI to fall 0.1% both year-on-year and month-on-month. The 0.5% decline was the largest year-on-year drop in 3 years. The Producer Price Index, PPI, fell 3% year-on-year against a 2.6% drop in October, marking a 14th straight month of decline. Economists had predicted a 2.8% fall in November. Compared with November last year, food prices fell by 4.2% year-on-year, livestock meat prices fell by 19.2%, and pork prices dropped by 31.8%, which attracted attention. At the same time, the Producer Price Index, PPI, which leads the CPI, Consumer Price Index, fell by 3% year-on-year, exceeding the 2.6% decline in October. China's PPI has fallen for 14 consecutive months, and November's drop is the fastest decline since August. Economists had predicted a 2.8% fall in November. In addition, the core inflation rate, excluding food and fuel prices, was 0.6% year-on-year, the same as in October. Data show that deflation continues to exist. The Chinese Communist Party authorities are facing continued sluggish consumer demand, which is in sharp contrast to the fight against inflation in most countries around the world. This year, China's economy has been hit hard by local debt defaults, real estate explosions, and sluggish demand at home and abroad. consumers are spending cautiously because there are no signs of economic recovery. Protest against rent hikes. Over 1,000 merchants strike in world's largest pearl market. China's economy is taking a hit, and the surge in rent at shopping malls across various regions is sparking widespread protests. On December 9, there was a video posted on X platform under the title "Yesterday, Record of Chinese Civil Group Struggle." The video reported a six-fold increase in the rent of East China International Jewelry City situated in Shangzhou Town, Zhuji City, Shaoxing City, Zhejiang Province. Reacting to this steep rise in rent, on December 8, more than 1,000 merchants, unable to cope with the soaring costs, collectively shut down their businesses and went on strike upon learning that the mayor was planning to inspect the jewelry city. Their protest was aimed at opposing the drastic increase in rent. In the video, all the shops in the market have shut down, yet there's still a bustling crowd. A woman expressed, "The pearl market, the exorbitant stall prices, we merchants can't take it anymore. We've all closed down, it's unbearable." Zhuji City holds the global title as the pearl capital, boasting the world's biggest pearl market and acting as the primary hub for distributing freshwater pearl raw materials. The East China International Jewelry City, founded in 2006, spans a massive 1.2 million square meters with an investment exceeding 3 billion yuan, approximately $417.34 million. This hub serves as a professional epicenter for the production and processing of pearls and jewelry, distribution and logistics, brand exhibitions and trade. This market has a global reach, spanning over 60 countries and regions, including the United States, Japan, Russia, and Southeast Asia. It dominates the annual trade in freshwater pearls, making up 80% of the country's total and over 75% of the world's freshwater pearl trade. However, at this moment, according to merchants, the exorbitant stall prices are unbearable, leading to the closure of all shops in the market. Over 1,000 merchants in Hebei's Langfang stage mass strike in protest of rent hikes. As previously reported, on November 13, there were reports online that more than 1,000 merchants from Shanghai Center, an international auto parts city in Langfang City, Hebei Province, collectively went on strike to protest against a breach of contract and rent increase. A merchant mentioned that they had just paid rent and management fees in October, but in November, Auto Parts City violated the contract and demanded an additional management fee of over 20,000 yuan, approximately $2,783. The video footage shows a large group of presumed merchants gathering in front of the Auto Parts City gate, collectively shouting, "Check out! Check out!" Besides reports of merchant strikes, there have been numerous accounts of strikes by mainland workers in recent days. China's current economic challenges, with companies laying off employees, suspending operations, relocating, or taking extended holidays, have led to widespread strikes affecting employees' lives. As per online reports, Baoyi Shoe Factory in Yangzhou City, Jiangsu Province, announced the closure of domestic factories by year-end. Due to the company's failure to provide satisfactory compensation plans, workers have initiated strikes in protest. In Dongguan City, Guangdong Province, Beiwan Precision Industry Company, Limited, engaged in the production and sale of hardware and plastic products and daily appliances, after relocating its factory, did not compensate workers who refused to work in the new area. Dozens of workers went on a two-day strike on December 6 and 7, blocking the gate and displaying banners on the factory roof to protest. On December 5, near Shizhongnan Plaza in Chang'an Town, Dongguan, Guangdong Province, some manufacturing workers, not receiving compensation for factory relocation, climbed rooftops to protest their rights. The video shows many onlookers below, with police officers present. Some netizens commented, "Massive unemployment, followed by widespread hunger, then widespread social unrest, and even a large-scale civil war. Zero COVID, the entire society goes on strike, market strike, and class strike. Now the CCP has no enterprises to collect taxes, no money to pay wages, and no international friends. It's impressive, isn't it?" Some said, "Resistance, if not, they will cut even harder. The mainland will soon be in chaos." It's important to note that the specific content, time, and location of the above video messages cannot be independently verified at present. Hundreds of merchants in Wuhan forcibly demolished, livelihood severed. The forced demolition of Zhaidongmen Fresh Market in Wuhan, Hubei Province, has left over 400 merchants in a tough spot. They're feeling like they've been kicked out, comparing it to being chased out like stray dogs. The situation is being called even more challenging than the pandemic itself. This market, a well-known spot in the Hunan commercial area, has been serving the community for over 30 years. But in mid-November, the merchants got hit with unexpected demolition notices. The local government claimed it was due to safety concerns related to underground gas pipelines and insisted everyone clear out by December 1st. Then came rumors about road construction and private owners taking over, adding to the merchants' confusion. Despite their appeals to various government levels, nothing has changed. On November 30th, authorities brought in thousands of special police, security personnel, and urban management officers to encircle the market and start building enclosures. Conflicts broke out when the merchants tried to intervene. Lian, a female seafood vendor, shared on December 4th, at midnight on the 30th, security personnel and special police used force to attack people. Some women were standing in front trying to stop them from building the enclosure. Some women got hurt and couldn't resist in the end. About 5 or 6 women were injured, with some getting facial injuries. Lian revealed that some other women expressed feeling like they dedicated their whole lives to the market only to be kicked out like dogs. Hearing these words makes her feel very discomfortable. During the pandemic, Lian was hopeful things would improve eventually. However, she and her husband still had to deal with the financial burden of mortgage loans, paying over 3,000 yuan each month, around $417.50. Now, with no way out, she exclaimed it's even more challenging than during the pandemic. The forced relocation has hit the merchants hard. Lian shared her losses are around 70 to 80,000 yuan, over $11,000, including inventory. Reporters from Epoch Times tried reaching out to the market office with no luck. When they attempted to contact the Wuchang district government, they got no answers and the call was terminated. China's Hunan Province officially orders closure of kindergartens. Public opinion heats up. China is facing a significant drop in its population, resulting in the enforced closure of numerous kindergartens across various regions. The Education Department of Hunan Province recently issued an official directive explicitly mandating the closure of kindergartens. This announcement represents the first provincial-level government order in China to shut down kindergartens, sparking widespread discussion. According to the notice, in rural areas, the addition of kindergartens should generally cease, and the scale of compulsory education schools in newly built urban areas should not exceed 2,000 students. During a meeting on December 6, Xia Zhiluan, the director of the Education Department of Hunan Province, stated, "In the next 5 years, our province's education scale and structure will undergo significant changes due to changes in the birth population." Hunan, experiencing a substantial decrease in its birth population, is leading the nation in this demographic shift. Ministry of Education data for 2021 indicates a 0.27% decrease in the nationwide percentage of preschool children compared to the previous year, whereas in Hunan, it dropped by 0.86%, more than 3 times the national average. In 2022, the percentage of preschool children nationwide plummeted by 3.7% from the previous year, with Hunan experiencing a steeper drop of 5.8%. While Hunan ordered the closure of kindergartens, it also proposed reductions in primary schools. Particularly, Luoyang City in Hunan stated that within 3 years, it will optimize and integrate more than half of the small-scale schools with fewer than 100 students. According to data from the Ministry of Education, in 2022, there were a total of 149,100 ordinary primary schools nationwide, a decrease of 5,162 from the previous year. In other words, in 2022, the total number of kindergartens and primary schools nationwide decreased by more than 10,000. Following this trend, it seems that in a few years, it will be the turn of secondary schools and universities. This information has sparked heated discussions among the mainland public. Many netizens also posted extreme slogans from the period of the Chinese Communist Party's family planning policy, mocking the authorities for inconsistent and contradictory policies. Some netizens quoted a famous saying from Eileen Chang, a Chinese-born American essayist, novelist, and screenwriter: "If a child's birth is for inheriting one's toil and panic, then not having children is also a kind of kindness." Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.